So what you hear and what people tell you that you're about, Sean summed it up perfectly. It all kind of starts at zero. And this game will gut you, and you will cry more than you will laugh at this game, but that's the beauty of it, and that's why we all do it. And I think what's happened in our industry is we've made this game so difficult. We've made this game so difficult in a million different ways. And there's a beautiful thing going on in our game. It's the chemistry between where we're going technological-wise and where we are. I tell this story a lot, and I think it's a really, really good one. A friend of ours got the opportunity at one time to sit down with Henry Kissinger. And got the opportunity to sit down with Henry Kissinger and a group of people. Henry Kissinger was the Secretary of State during the Nixon administration, and he was the man. Like, if you look back to Secretary of States in our country, he was the guy. He basically got us out of a difficult situation in Vietnam. He negotiated what we have with France, and he negotiated with what we have with England. He started kind of Far Eastern trade, but he couldn't crack the China market. And it's pretty interesting we're talking about that, because where are you going tomorrow, Sean? You're going to China. China's like booming, and the world is booming, and we've all kind of been watching it go. So Kissinger goes over there to meet with Mao Zedong at the time, and he hears a couple things about Mao Zedong. He hears he's very, very prompt, and he hears, besides being he's very, very prompt, that his English isn't very good. So Mr. Kissinger, you know, flies over in Air Force One or Air Force Two or whatever the Secretary of State at that time got to go. I know our taxes paid for it. That's another subject. Joke number two, will you guys whiffed on, okay? Yeah, okay, so you don't, nobody pays taxes here? So anyways, he shows up at 12 o'clock, and they keep him waiting till 1:30. And he is irritated. Nobody's done this before. You know, when one of our dignitaries go to another country, they want to be treated like royalty. And Kissinger sits in this little weird room in Peking for an hour and a half. He finally gets in to talk to Mao, and Mao speaks perfect English. One down in the press. If you have one down presses, which Mally loves. And then, so Mr. Mao Zedong, would you call him Mr. Zedong? That sounds cool, right? Mao says to Henry, sorry, we were late. We were negotiating a border treaty with the Russians that's been in negotiation for 2,000 years. And they wanted 5,000 years, and we wanted 4,000 years, or vice versa. They wanted 4,000, we wanted 5,000. And we came to a compromise, and it was 4,500 years, and we thought it was the time in order to leave you back. Now Henry's 2 down, okay? And that's joke number 3. So anyways, Kissinger has this in his back pocket, but he wasn't going to use it. And he said, well, I got one for you to start. We developed the internet. Mao kind of went like that, and he goes, yeah, what is it? And he goes, well, it's going to come out of this thing, a box called a computer. It's going to be the internet. It's going to link the whole world, blah, blah, blah. Mao thinks about it for about half a second, and he says, you're telling me that you're going to develop a box that people are going to get the answers rather than having to find the answers out? You tell me, right? I promise you that we're not. Like, I promise you, Sean and I have been doing this together for 10, 15 years. There's not one time that it's going to help for me to run back. Like Sean said, he was looking at jokes or whatever on his phone. It's going to help me to run back and look at a box when a guy hits a shot, especially before a major. And that heart's thumping and they're pumping. And the game's got to be simplified. And also, too, like, the best work that we've done is in that field you were just with Mark, you know. Mally and I have some brilliant sessions out there, you know. We've had $10 million worth of brilliant sessions where he comes out and hits balls in that little area. And it's just, how simple can we make it? And he doesn't want a bunch. He doesn't want to see a video. He doesn't want to hear my theory. He doesn't care how I hit it. He doesn't care that I had a monthly ticket at Rec Park. He just wants to have his feel. And my job is to make his feel. So here's where the summary of all that is. If you are not, and I know this more than ever, 100% right at what you're telling your student, don't. It's a big one, right? I mean, how many people are experimenting with that more than that? Everybody, you know, you get in there and you start doing surgery, okay? I have not had an appendicitis. Knock on this wood here that I don't, okay? But I imagine if that guy that's going to take it out, I don't want it to be the National Rent-A-Car guy that goes in there with the plug and pulls it out like that. I want someone that knows what they're doing. I don't want them experimenting. I want 100% for them to know where my appendix is. So they'll take my liver or my spleen, okay? Don't mess with my Irish liver that I've been trying to preserve so I can drink when I'm 90, okay? Nobody here drinks? All right. So anyways, if you're not 100% right, don't try it. Go back to what we started with. Our job is to make this game simple, selflessly. Okay. Technical golf. It's an interesting one. How did we get there, and what is technical golf, and where are we, you know? And is this game art, or is it science, or is it both? I also have people tell me that you're a great macro teacher. I don't know what that means. A macro teacher meaning we're teaching everything. If I was a technical teacher, would I be a micro teacher? I think that's a compliment, by the way, and we're flattered that they say that. But remember, at the end of the day on Sunday, when they're standing up on that with the big check, when somebody wins, I'll say, you know, hey, you got a big check. And they're like, yeah. You know, it was a lot of money. No, the check, it was big. You guys are boring. So anyways, when somebody's standing up on Sunday, they're not saying, I downloaded my right arm into quadrant number 4, pushed off the accelerator pad on my right heel, and launched myself through the ceiling and managed to make perfect tubing impact into quadrant number 6, 7, and 8. That's not happening. The guy says, oh man, he's trying not to cry. And he says, you know, it was a good week, man. I like where I stayed, and you know, I had a really good CD on the way to the golf course, and you know, my caddy, he's what's my caddy's name again? He was great down the stretch, and just that's basically what's going on. Is that technical? I don't know about that. So I want you to think about this. Those are the basic, really giant methods that have gone through since I've been teaching on tour, so to speak. You know, for 30 years we've been going out there, but for a long time we went out there trying to beg for a player. And the one player that I was helping was getting golf lessons from 100 other people. That's good competition, 99 other people telling somebody that already know how to play golf. Joke number 5. So look at Hogan 5 lessons, okay? Jack Nicklaus square to square, that's kind of when we grew up. Jillian Ballard, connection and weight shift. A lot of people don't like that. Try telling Hal Sutton that. And would you have been like the guy that didn't teach Hal Sutton that? The Golf Machine. You have to read The Golf Machine, if you can. But I don't think you need to be a great instructor to read The Golf Machine. I think basically what you're doing is, as Sean said again this morning, it's not how somebody tells you to do something and that there's one way to do something. Because I promise you, Bubba Watson is not winning the Masters and not hooking that shot on the green on the 10th hole out of The Golf Machine. It's just not happening. 8-point swing, that's when we decided we were going to number it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I want everybody to do this. I'm going to swing to the top of my backswing, and I want you to yell, not just say it. I want you to yell Jamie before I finish. Oh, that was good. Some of you were really early. You did it before I got to the top of my backswing and work my transitional pace. That was good. You got it ahead of time. So you're really going to go through your points when you're hitting it? I don't think so. Not in any other athletic thing when you do. So then we went rounded, on plane, one plane. Either you're on plane or you're not on plane. How many of you have maps? Come on, let's interact. How many people have maps on your phone, okay? How many people have Google, okay? How many people know you're in Long Beach? All right, good. We're doing better with the hand raising. Can't be that hot, okay? I'm up here giving it all, you guys. I got pink socks on, okay? So anyways, the rounded on plane swing, either you went the right way or the wrong way. If you put maps on there, they take you to place 100 different ways based on where the traffic is. That's kind of what goes on with the golf swing. There's 100 different variations. There isn't one variation. There never will be. There's infinite ways to do this. So then we went to the X Factor. A lot of good stuff there, you know. A lot of people played like this in that time, and then people started to wind up against themselves. I know I hit it farther, but I felt like I was flexible to do that. I'm pretty flexible for 77, right? And so you finally laugh at something. And so he's like 87. So then we did stack and tilt. Trackman air. Trackman air is kind of where we are now. Squat, shallow, and jump, you know. I wonder if we're doing squat, shallow, and jump if Justin Thomas wasn't jumping. You ever talk to Mike Thomas, his dad, about growing his game and where his game came from? And Sean and Mark and I get to watch Justin every time. It is like friggin' It's like watching one of the Beatles out there. And I mean, he can nut it, and he hits it hard for his size. And the club's in really beautiful spot. And more importantly, the putter looks better in his hand, and he pitches the ball better, and he short irons it better than he gets credit for. Really, really, really impressive. I don't think he's doing that method right there. So there we are. There's technical golf. So now I want to talk about technical golf a little bit, and I want you to think about this. My favorite thing that I've heard on TV in the last probably, no, you're good. The last probably 10 years, I'm going to probably spit water on you the whole day, okay? He doesn't even know it. He doesn't care. Yeah. It's me, Jamie. Remember? Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to talk. I love the comment, swing your swing. I just, how great is that? That was Arnold Steele, right? Swing your swing. So let's start. Can we see the TV? Yeah? Can we start with Annika? I picked their modern age great players. Took some ladies, picked some gents. There's more to it than there. Can you see the screen? Can we get, there's that back screen's going over there? No? You can see this screen? Come on, you guys, it's a home game. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So there's Annika going up, and you can see it over there. I'll just start really simply there, you know, maybe the winningest player, the second winningest player behind Kathy Whitworth. What's the first thing that you learned in golf instruction? Keep your head down. Do you know that Annika, David Duval, and Hal Irwin all lift their head up at impact? And do you know that they had a year where she was the leading ladies player, and Duval was the leading men's player, and Hal Irwin was the leading Champions Tour player? And at impact, they all look like this. That kind of makes sense to me. I mean, you're hitting over there, you might as well find it. Geez, it's only this big. You hit it down the fairway, you got to find the thing. So maybe you go like that, it's easier to kind of release. Just saying. Lorena Ochoa. V, was that good pronunciation of Ochoa? Thank you. Learn from Mexican guy, Rafael Alcorn, super, super smart. Love the hands, you know? So watch her. She have a pivot. She's squatting and jumping. Squat and jump sounds weird, by the way. I don't really love the word squat. Clubs, what would you say? You know, Mark, you're good on the technique part. What does Lorena do? She goes inside, up, inside, over, down, drop, over, left, hold, scoop. Yeah. Inby is great, right? Like if you're driving down the street and you saw Inby walking down wherever you are, Belmont Shores, our hometown, if you saw Inby walking down 2nd Street, she's that big, you know, she's kind of built like a Volkswagen. Don't tell Inby that. She wouldn't understand what a Volkswagen was anyways. She does not use her hands. She hits it with a full body pivot. She just won the Olympic gold medal. She putts perfectly. I mean, and then there's that guy, Tiger. Where's Gary? Gary, you around? Gary's around. Trevor, you around here someplace? Trevor might have killed him today. Doesn't like the hot weather. Gary, you're here. Trevor's not. Gary's roommate was Rudy Duran. When I was this big, Gary was super gracious with me. Gary hired me here at this place. Rudy taught Tiger. We've known all of Tiger's teachers. I used to putt on that putting green at Hartwell. That was probably the best living I ever made based on the fact I went there with nothing every night and putted with a bunch of guys that were 20 handicaps for $20, $50, $100. Tiger would walk out on that putting green. I think he's 14 years younger than me. I'm not 77, really. And Tiger's older than he is right now, if you've been watching Instagram, which I don't have. Joke number 7. So anyways, you watch Tiger chip on that green, and he never looked at us putting, and we were screaming and yelling. He just putted. And then, you know, Trevor, like, when he started getting lessons from John Anselmo, they took him around to junior golf tournaments, and Trevor would be driving home from a junior golf tournament, and Tiger would be asleep. You know, Muhammad Ali's sleeping next to you, the greatest golf athlete ever. He's sleeping, you know, pay attention. Don't look at the kid sleeping so you don't hurt him. And then he went to Butch, and we all know Butch. And then we went to, am I in the order ready? Went to Haney, and then did one of those methods that we talked about. And then I can remember talking long and hard with Sean about it. I can remember us standing at Whistling Straits, And Sean's retention is really great, and my retention is great. And I remember him putting his arm around me and saying, what do you do in this situation, you know? He wasn't asking me about his method. I knew that Sean was going to do that. Just, he wanted to pick guys' brains on what you would do with Tiger, you know? Our deal is that we've homegrown tour players. Most tour player coaches get tour players after they become tour players. Not very many people are growing them out of Long Beach, you know? We've grown all these people out of our kind of our system. So Sean wanted to go back to that, super cerebral. And then I think after that he went to see Chris, yeah. And I think there's been 2 or 3 other people in the kitchen. He's the most talked about athlete of our time. He's the reason that I can afford my pink socks. Tiger is, not Sean. But I'd like to think you help with that, Sean. He's played with 7 different golf swings that I can count, and I'm pretty retentive as well as counting golf swings. And he's played with 100 different variations of those golf swings. He's been more injured than anybody in the game. Pretty interesting, right? From the physio standpoint, from the athlete standpoint. My original girlfriend, when I was a young guy, way before Tiger came around, said, there'll be somebody that comes across, he'll be like a track star, he'll be a football player, and he'll dominate the game. He'll win 79 or 80 times. And at that time, Tom Kite was the leading money winner on tour, you know. I'm looking at Tom Kite, and I'm thinking, no, that's the mold right there, you know. Little straw hat, glasses, freckles. Okay, now you guys can laugh. Okay, you can laugh at Tom Kite. Okay, poor kid. So, anyways, I mean, it became Tiger and Tiger's world, and we still live in it. He isn't the needle mover. He's the needle. If Tiger goes out and plays wherever he plays tomorrow and he breaks the course record, what's the lead story on Golf Channel and maybe CNN, right? It's Tiger. VJ. How about if you were in Fiji like 52 years ago or 40 years ago and you saw this big, tall guy, you know, out there hitting balls from sun up to sundown? We have been going to tour events since we were tiny babies, okay? Watching them play. I've got to go to tour. I haven't been to a tour event where VJ hasn't got to the course before me and left after. And he's still doing it on the Champions event. We're going to show you something about his swing later that's interesting. Sean spoke about Fierick, but how many people are plane people out here? Raise your hand. Come on, go ahead. You can raise your hand if you're into the swing plane. So nobody in this crowd's into the swing plane. There's that. Thanks, Greg. Okay. A 1 out of 300, 2. Okay. I think there's more people that have talked about swing plane. How many people in your instruction have said swing plane? Raise your hand. Okay. Cool. So you are plane people. Okay. Let's get honest. Like Sean said, let's get honest with each other. Would you have been the guy that fixed that? Mike Fierick, man, pretty impressive, right? Impressive as father, impressive as teacher. Jim's a businessman. He built his system. And then lefty down there at the bottom, right? Right-handed guy, plays left-handed. I will not list all his teachers because it will take more than Tiger. He's been unbelievable with all our guys in our stable, played with them, treats them fantastic, gets our culture, treats me fantastic. The highlights of kind of one of our years is this year after something big happened with one of the kids is him walking out with his arm around me and whispering some stuff that I'll never share in my ear about what we've done coaching-wise. Pretty special. But you watch what with his golf swing, like, you want to shorten it? You want to get it wider? You want to slow down his downswing pace a little bit? You want to get him to keep going like that and smiling, you know? This year we were at the FedEx and we're walking off the thing and Phil's getting ready to play and he had kind of this serious look in his face and then he was ready to play and all of a sudden, right as Patrick and I walked by, he went like this. And Patrick goes, there he is. Hollywood's going to play golf in the FedEx Championship, you know? And he's going to make the President's Cup team. Here's the great one about this. Are you ready? 388 professional wins. 42 majors, $383 million in prize money. Who out there would have dared to fix those guys? Because I know a bunch of teachers that tried. Think about that, okay? Some anomalies, okay? Straightest driver of the golf ball, okay? How you doing back there, Nick? Did anybody ever see MASH, the show MASH? All right, we hired Radar O'Reilly, okay? There he is right there. Can't love this kid anymore. All right, let's watch her swing. She is 89% accuracy off the tee. That's 10% more than anybody she competes with in her gender. And that's like 12% more than anybody that she competes with in any gender. I'll stop there with the genders. Stop right there. Will you bring her back a little bit? Into position number 8. Check out me, Sean. Okay. Can you go back to Mo? Yeah, can you put her in your follow through? You're going forward, Radar. There you go. Just end it right at the top of the backswing. I mean, top follow through. Stop right there. This would show it well enough. How many grip people out here? You ever worked on a grip with anybody? Come on, raise your hands if you worked on the grip with anybody, okay? You teaching 10 finger? Anybody teaching 10 finger? Good. I like brave. Now you're all going to put your hands up. No, I'm calling bullshit on that. Okay. Straightest driver on tour plays with 10 finger grip. I don't know. That didn't mean to say because I heard the Varden grip was more there. Longest hitter that I've ever seen on the PGA Tour. And everybody says, well, there's longer guys than that. Because remember, when he was doing it at the start, he was doing it with a ball that didn't go as far. And he did it in places on driving ranges that I got to see in the 90s when Sean and Mark were still, Sean hadn't even done his application for Grambling yet. And Mark was still back in England chasing little schoolgirls, okay? And Daly was hitting it like, you didn't think I'd put you guys up here to have fun with you, okay? All right? Yeah. Yeah. East Tennessee State, buddy. Okay. So anyways, Daly farthest over parallel than anybody. You want to hear a great one? Anybody work on length of backswing? How many length of backswing people out here? Sure. You've never worked on the length of somebody's backswing. You just let them make whatever backswing they want. Wonder if Mrs. Haverkamp comes out and goes like this. Okay, you fix the length of her backswing, you let her keep going like that. Okay? Look like I should be wearing pink socks when I do that, huh? Daly's swing from the top of parallel to the ball is farther than the average tour player's swing. Can't make it up, it just is. Prettiest swing, Fred Couples, right? How many people here think Freddie's got the prettiest swing? All right? It's a pretty swing, right? Strong grip, hand backswing, late shoulder turn, over the top of parallel, falls back, downset lag harder than anybody in the game, pushes up and fires, and releases, and we're going to show you some things about his swing later that will blow you away. Would you have changed that swing? There's a great story about Freddie. One of the first times I got to kind of speak at a national summit, I'm sitting in this room with a guy, and he is nervous as can be. And I said, why are you so nervous? And he said, you know, I'm talking about Freddie. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, I'm just so nervous, I can't even tell you. And I said, well, why don't you try to tell me? Because there's 1,000 people out there. You're not going to be able to tell them if you can't tell me. So he goes, well, when I was, you know, in Seattle when I was a kid, there was this kid that used to hit balls out in the driving range, you know, and he had like the, you know, the nice hair, and he'd come out there and practice every single day, and he had this really unorthodox style, and club went up, kind of paused at the top, went over like that, he dropped it down and went like such, and he said, you know, and the ball went straight time after time after time, and I said, it's the kid Fred Couples, and he goes, oh man, you're a smart guy, how'd you guess that? And I go, I kind of guessed that, and I said, you know, did you talk to him? And he goes, yeah, I went out one day and talked to him, I got, you know, to talk to him. I go, you're not going to be able to talk to these people unless you can tell me that. And I go, well, what did you say? And he goes, well, I'm just going to say what he said. And I go, what did he say? And he said, well, he learned to play golf with his dad and his friends, and they all had a weak grip, and they all made this big, giant inside shoulder turn, and they all took the club and threw it out that way, and they all swing as hard as they can. They play like shit and hit in the woods. So I'm just trying to do the opposite of them. Strong grip, pick the club outside, drop it inside, swing as easy as I can. Fred Couples. Best putter, Jordan Spieth. This guy. It's the most important thing putting. Eye line to the target line. I mean, that's what everybody's saying. What are you looking at on your mirror? You're looking at a mirror that goes right or a mirror that goes left? Everybody on tours use an eye line. I invented a device. Good job by me not patting it. Another brilliant business mistake. But I invented something. I sound so pretentious because I stole the idea, just like we all steal our ideas because everything's plagiarized. But I invented a device that we didn't patent that have your eye line right over the ball. So now I got the best putter on PGA Tour, and I want to just run this putt. Chambers Bay, this big putt. That next to him to the left is a giant cavern. That looks like Fred Flintstone ground out with him and Barney. You got to laugh at the Flintstones. Come on, you guys. So anyways, let's take him back to setup. Hold him right there. This putt breaks 8 feet to the left, and it's speedy down that hill. He's looking right at the target line already. How's he doing that? The putt's breaking to the left. Watch this thing get buried. Not only that, he is hitting putts where he's closing his eyes, looking at the hole, looking backwards, looking square, and looking right. And he's making them all. We got another putt. You're doing great, Nick. I'm proud of you, bud. Another one. Right in, Jordan. How many people have seen Jordan Spieth make a 20-footer? We don't need to show anyone. I'm tired of him taking money out of our players' pockets. World number 1, Dustin. Okay. Must close club face to the target line. Club. If that was relative to the plane line, okay, it's not toe down. That was just relative to the plane line, because I know there's only 4 of you out here that teach the plane, but for the rest of you, if you can go ahead and listen to this, okay, that would be relative to the plane. That would be open to the plane line, and that would be close to the plane line, and that would be where Dustin's club is. And only thing I disagreed with what Sean said today is I don't think his arms are that big. I think his wrists are kind of small. I mean, I think, like, for how big he is, like, to get his wrist in that position and impact and hang on for dear life. He's the world number 1, by the way, with that club face. Would you been the guy that fixed his club face? Jack Nicklaus, okay. Let's hold on, Nicklaus. Oh, you're still running, Dustin. You're like on a 1-second tape delay, okay? You can laugh. You can smile. This is a beautiful kid. There's Jack right there, big Jack. I saw Jack walk by the table at Memorial this year and grab himself a ham and a piece of Swiss cheese and roll it up and stuff it in his mouth. Made me feel great. I do that all the time. I sneak into those cold cuts. Stop right there. Stop. Whoa. Nick, you're going to be back at Glen Oaks, okay? Stop right there. That's perfect, okay? I know that we'll admit this. Let's stand up. Put our arms around together, my brothers. Okay, both you guys, okay? Let's stand up, okay? You can speak into my microphone. Right. I have worked on many people's right arms, okay? Say it.
I have worked on many people's right shoulders.
Okay, excuse me. Okay. I get like 3 of those. That was the first one, okay? Go ahead. I know you won't lie to me.
I won't lie to you.
Okay. This is weird,
I've
okay?
worked on people's right shoulders.
Okay.
And right arms.
Okay, cool, okay. What's connected to your right arm?
My shoulder.
Okay, thanks. All right, cool. Rest my case. It's been the chic thing to do, okay? Put something underneath their arm, work on a position, have some kind of loading device, whatever. If it works on your, whatever Sean called it, your scapula, okay? I think that's the appropriate term. But it's a right arm position at the top of the swing. And I promise you, if I tell Mally I'm going to work on his scapula as opposed to his right arm position, I'm fired, okay? So I'm just saying there, okay? Why didn't they fix that flying right elbow on Jack? Why didn't they fix it? They didn't do that, you know? It was ball position. It was big, giant turn. Hit it as hard as you can. Hit it, knock it up in the air. And then Tiger, okay? What do you got for Tiger there, bud? This is when it was supposed to be the glory days. Let's look at this one. Well, that's nice, huh? Keep it going. You got another one? That's the same one. You can't trick us. Bunch of golf pros. Oh, here we go. Won this tournament by 14 shots with a triple bogey. Huh, crazy shot, right? I ask you this. Why would you change that? Well, we worked at this place called Skylinks, which is, it's home to me. I drove past it today because the freeway was busy, you know. We started the Smooth Swing Golf School there, the Jamie Mulligan Golf Camp. It's where we sowed our oaks, and arguably it was maybe one of the best jobs that I've had, and I've only had a couple. I went there every day and got to teach golf from in the morning till in the afternoon. There's a couple people that work there with me that book lessons for me. We still shake our heads at those days. And this little kid from Warren High came out one day. The 10th hole at Skylinks is not drivable. I smashed it when I was a kid, especially when I spit on the club face, which I did. Went like this, Gary, when you did that, by the way. Yeah, when I was playing with Gary when I was about 23 years old, and I was blowing it past him and standing on the 18th tee like that, and I kind of I licked the club face like that, and Gary caught me right at the right time looking back. He looked back at me. I was like, I don't have a lollipop. We never talked about that, Gary, but I still feel bad about it. Okay. Anyways, this kid walks out on the 10th hole and he drives it in the middle of the green. Nobody drove in the middle of that green. Nobody drove it within 50 or 75 yards of the green. Brett, don't say that you drove it on that green, okay? I know how you are, all right? Anyways, so those are some of your anomalies, okay? So let's do this, okay? Let's have an exorcism. Now it's going to get weird, right? Okay. Let's take our technical minds and let's have them leave. Let's have them go away. I'll explain kind of the difference between the right brain and the left brain, but how many of you consider yourself at times to be a technical thinker? And if everybody doesn't raise their hand here, we're going to raise the price of your admission, okay? All right? A technical thinker as far as golf goes. We've all done it. This is what we do for a living. We can't lie to each other about that. That's what we do. So we're going to do an exorcism of this, okay? Let's see our guy here. Can you hear him? We're going to need some.
What are the secrets? What are the secrets of golf that pros know? Well, I heard this one time, and I remembered it. It's really, if you write this down, it really helped. What I try to do, I try to flat load my feet so I can snap load my power package. That way I can amplify both lag and drag pressure through impact fix. As long as my number 2 power accumulator doesn't break down, I can reach maximum centrifugal force with minimum pivotal resistance. You see, the pivot is the utilization of multiple centers to produce a circular motion for generating centrifugal force on an adjusted plane, plus the maintenance and balance necessary for a two-line delivery path. See, golf is geometrically oriented linear force. It involves a physical muscular thrust and a geometry of the circle. You can divide the golf swing into 24 basic components, each having between 12 and 15 variations. Now, when you think of all this, and you get it all set, hopefully you'll hit shots like this.
Cool. All right. Nice, huh? JC. Okay, there you go. It's like we all like chips and salsa, okay? Technique, 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 technique. A little more salsa. Technique, technique, technique. It's gone. Till now when we leave. We're all going to change. We're going to go to the right brain, and we're going to do it together, okay? Symbolically, this is what we're going to do. Who's got the book? Who's got the book? Nick. Oh, you got the book? You going to do it, or you want me to do it? I'm doing everything else, for Christ's sake, okay? Somebody want to help with the book? Here. That away, Joe. Joey, little Joey. I didn't have the nerve to do the golf machine because I'm really scared of Mac, okay? He's got in a fight with all you guys. He's been really, really nice to me forever. I want to throw the golf machine, but go throw that book in the trash, okay? Up, everybody. Up. Standing ovation. Liberating, right? Just throw a golf book in there. We're going to light it on fire, but CEO, not just golf pro, okay? Insurance not good for that, okay? Have a seat, everybody. I will not think about technique till we're done and Joe Horowitz is up there on the band and you're playing having a beer, so till we finish tonight, okay? Everybody's cool with that? Cool. Time to groove, okay? Let's groove a little bit. Seriously, okay? I'm not weird. I might be the dumbest smart guy you've ever met or the smartest dumb guy that you've ever met, but I know this is gold, and we're going to put some gold in your chest, okay? So how many taking notes out there? Stop. Use your brains. My pal Sean, one of the most retentive people I know, you're not taking any notes when we're talking. I'm not taking any notes when we're talking. You ever see me take a note, Mally, during one of our sessions? You got to see it, and you got to feel it so they can trust it. You got to see it, you got to feel it so they can trust it. You'll remember what we say, okay? Use your mind. That's what it's there for, okay? It is not what you are thinking. It is what you're doing. So I'm going to make a conscious choice, okay? I'm not going to wear my board shorts. Where's Addis? I know you're shaking in your boots. But I'm going to take these shoes off. It's friggin' boiling out here, okay? I'm a surfer. I have to wear dress shoes here a lot. That didn't happen at Skylinks. I'm not folding my socks because that would be not surfer or hippie. Okay? Real quickly, I've also wanted to do this. Might as well, I got my chance, okay? How Paul McCartney is this, right? I just thought about it. Okay? Nobody's seen Abbey Road? No hand for that? Okay, I'm trying as hard as I can, okay? All right? Where's our boy? Let's go. Okay. Okay, we're good. I don't want them to get too stoned. It's legal in the state. It's a hot day. Don't want to burn anything down. Don't think I'm weird, okay? We're going to that side, okay? What is that side? Everybody take their right arm and put it on their left shoulder. Cool, very nice. Everybody take your right arm off your left shoulder. Everybody just try to feel your left shoulder. That's that side. Look at my left shoulder. That's that side. That's my left shoulder. I showered 4 times and changed 4 times like Lady Gaga, for Christ's sake, up here. Smell pretty good. That's that side. Okay? That side's got nothing to do with scapula or placement or positions or planes or any of that stuff. That's just that side. That's just feeling it. I promise you when Justin Rose is walking out there to play and Sean gives him a hug and says, hey, do what your dad wanted you to do today at the U.S. Open, and he's about ready to poop, and he goes out there and wins the U.S. Open, he wasn't thinking about scapulas. He was thinking about that immaculate pace and rhythm and groove that he's made forever and ever and ever, no matter how much these guys have worked on his golf swing. And he's done it over and over and over again. And that rhythm being over and over and over again, that happens from that. Let me see that sheet, okay? Who wrote this? Tempo denotes the overall pace of the swing, its rate of speed. Rhythm describes the texture of the swing, the variations of the speed within the overall pace. Timing I regard as all the way all separate motions flow together. Who wrote that? Whoever wrote that, whoever can tell me who wrote that, we'll have you bring a group of your members or something out here and we'll host you for a round of golf. Who wrote it? No, you don't get to do that. You already can come here. Who said Jack Nicklaus? Oh, Jesus Christ, Radar, okay? You're paying for the green fees, okay? All right? This kid. Beautiful, right? He described it succinctly. Whoosh. A million of those, you know? Never out of pace. Never out of grace. Never out of rhythm. That guy, Jack Nicklaus, the one that won all those tournaments. Fairways, greens, invented the 3-way off the tee on the 4-par. Hit it straight up in the air when he needed to. Swing smaller when he didn't need to. How did he know how to develop that right brain, and what is the right brain? Where are we going, buddy? You got it? You got the right brain, the left brain? It feels good up here barefoot, I got to tell you. I'm telling you. You guys don't think it's very funny. I don't care. There it is right there. So we're not allowed to really get into the left too much, but I'm not going to go through these specifically. But what is intuition? Intuition's what made you sign up for this thing, right? I'm going to come here and learn. Some of you were like, oh my God, I get some technique, you know? But intuition is what kind of intrigued you into doing this. Creativity. The best players are so creative. I mean, Bubba's Bubba, but watching him hit balls on the driving range is pretty unbelievable. Sometimes he has no idea where it's going, but other times you're like, My goodness, hence the Masters victory. Imagination. Every time one of my players, top 10, win, good tournament, what was going on? My imagination was a little better. I was not in the way of my imagination. Emotions. We all feel them. Some of you are hot, okay? That leads into being a little angry, okay? That turns into emotion. Smartest thing that I ever heard from somebody is told me, he said, you want to have a great relationship, have dinner before you talk about your day. That's what you do. You settle yourself down and your emotions get quieted down, and that kind of goes on. I try to not make a business decision for this property unless I've given a night to think about it. And a really big business decision, we'll wait 30 days for it. Sometimes we waited 16 years to do the golf course here. It was a big decision for us. But in that whole time we're going through that, I don't want to be emotional about it. We want to make a practical decision there. So that's what's going on in your mind. That's your right brain. That's not made up right there. That is your right brain. I'm going to stop right there. Any questions about that? Any questions about left brain or right brain? You're a funny guy. I love you, man. All right. It's got nothing to do with it. Yeah. That's a great question, though. You're totally in the right brain side, okay? No more doors and crystal ship for him. He's stoned plenty, okay? All right, cool. Other question. How much does it weigh? How much it weigh? 13 ounces, okay? Duck, everybody. It's 13 ounces. There goes down the thing. How much it weigh? 162. Right back there. There was a day when the ball went further than the club. That was a good one, right? Yeah. Okay. That's it. It's a 13-ounce golf club. I like Joey D. I know him. He's great, but I'm not sure if Joey D understands this 13-ounce golf club. He certainly doesn't look like it. Joey D's not playing on tour. He's training people on tour. And that's nothing against Joey D, but there's a lot to that. Where is your right brain, and where is the idea that you're playing with this 13-ounce golf club and this ounce ball, and how do you feel it, and how do you get all those emotions, intuition and creativity and imagination and emotions? Because nobody's standing up and saying this on Sundays, but they're all talking about one of these right here. But it gets ignored. Mike Miles, you around here, buddy? No. That is the fastest you've ever asked. Hi, I'm Mike Miles. This is the way I talk. I kicked all your guys' ass in sections events. Then I moved to Florida because I was tired of beating you, and I'm going to try it down there. I swing slow. I talk slow. No analysis. Mike said to me the other night at dinner, he goes, you've been preaching this for a long, long time. Just nobody listens. Maybe they'll listen today. Okay, that's what we're going for. We're going for that. Don't quit trying. I'd like to see Adrian and Joe pitch the ball, but real quickly once you get those ready, then I'll tell them when to cue them. So I want to kind of talk about my buddies here, okay? So on the left, I have Canadian tour player and musician extraordinaire who's going to play for you tonight while there's traffic out there, so you can stay in your creativity and imagination side for a while. Joe Horwitz, as good of musician as he is human being, and just a special, special guy. Next to him is arguably my best buddy, or one of my best buddies, okay? We have the distinction of, he's probably the only person I play golf with anymore. Play golf in Cabo when we get a week away, because that's our kind of our healing spot. He has a place down there. We've had some amazing times down there, correct? Yeah? Playing golf at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, surfing in the morning, having a nice lunch, going out to dinner, getting up and doing it again. When I think about it, it makes me well up in my eyes because we've had so much fun there. He is the drummer, which is the rhythm leader of the band for the iconic band No Doubt. Gwen Stefani's the lead singer. For all you guys going, I'm going to tell my kids I saw, Maroon 5 drummer today. No doubt, okay? He's also started a new band called Dream Car, Mr. Adrian Young, okay? Gents, come on up here and have a seat for a sec. Thank you for joining us. Adrian's a member here at Virginia. Joe lives in Long Beach, Long Island, and we are in Long Beach, California. And in Long Beach, Long Island, when Joe meets everybody, they're all just like, Joey, hey, Joey, how you doing, Joey? That's what happens when you stay with them. So when you come back, that's how you talk, and my staff's like, stop it, okay? All right? Hopefully the FedEx players don't go back to Long Island next year. Let's show the pitch shots. Are you ready? Let's watch our boys hit a little pitch here. Lovely. Silky, huh? Show them again. Yeah. That's hard to do, right? It's hard to look that good, right? You seen two musicians look better than that? I know a lot of golf pros that don't look better than that. Watch them pitch that ball. Smooth, huh? Mark, you're the good diagnostics guy. What do you think when you say that? You see that? What's it look like to you?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, right? Sean?
Yeah, very nice. I love it.
Mr. Mearns?
He said it was great.
You just said that, Joey. That's great, right? So let's do this, okay? Got a treat for you. You guys having fun? Grass feels good on the feet, I got to tell you. Feel free to take your shoes off. I'm doing it. Everybody can. How many board of directors are here? Now he's gone too far. Yeah, there we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Why don't you scoot one seat over there? You guys nervous? No, I'm talking to them. Adrian, you nervous? How many beers you have? Adrian, it's me, Jamie. That's 2. Joey, how many do you have? That means they had 5 combined. We had the bongos on the stage earlier, but we thought between the barefoot, the doors, the whole 9 yards, you guys would just think I'm BS crazy. Joe Horowitz and Adrian Young, let's give them a big hand, everybody.
It's good to be here. Test 1. Step back there. A little more mic volume back there, please. Test 1, 2.
Oh, you're fine. Thank you. Good. Yeah,
I'm waiting for my beer. I
How's
thought
your
you had a
3
beer
arms?
over there. Toast to all you guys out there, by the way.
I didn't think they could do it without a little right brain oil. Cheers to the California Golf Summit. Yeah. Nice, boys. Have a seat. Little Joey. Pretty spectacular, huh? Adrian Young, Joe Horowitz. Fun to listen to, right? What happened there? What happened there when you were doing that? I'm going to give you that mic, all right? What happened there when you were listening to that? Like, I watched everybody. Like, kind of people stood there kind of stiff. You been to a teaching summit before where they played music in the middle of it? Probably not, okay? But anyways, I watched everybody kind of sit there, and then you started to groove a little bit and feel it a little bit. And obviously they're grooving and feeling it. This guy is spilling out rhythm. This guy is spilling out groove. It's pretty interesting because I coach them, or help Mike's coach Joe too. I coach them both with their golf. They're lovely players, you know. Way too technical, okay? But that side of Adrian, I watch in Cabo every year come out, you know. First hole, whoosh, quick hook, you know, whoosh, little slice. All of a sudden, couple holes into it, couple Coronas, all right? Whoosh. Do it again, bud. Whoosh. What does that look like? I don't know. I like it. Looks good. Feels different. What's it feel? I don't really know. Okay, cool. What it feel when you're playing bongos? Yeah.
I don't like to talk, but I'd rather play than talk, but I don't think about anything.
Yeah. And
I wish I could do that on the golf course.
yeah, yeah. Same thing, this guy, you know. This guy, I got him, when I stayed with him this year, he walked around. He was gracious enough to have me within his lovely family, you know. I'm walking around, we're watching Patrick play. Patrick, like these guys saw Patrick during the playoffs. He was in the slot, right, Sean, right, Mark? I mean, he just, club was in the slot. Like, you know, everybody stays away from him. We'll talk about him later, but he's Sheldon on the Big Bang Theory, you know? I mean, he's just locked in. And he's just hitting ropes, you know? And he hits a couple shots, and Joe's trying to analyze what's going on. I give him a headlock, and, you know, Joe, I mean, come on. That's not what's going on. He's got 54 of those. So we've had great success with their golf, getting them to groove and to be who they are. And they've already got that in spades. Nobody else can do that. Anybody else want to come here and play or sing like that? You know, the first time I saw this guy sing, I think I saw you swing before I saw you sing. Say that 12 times fast. Anyways, the first time I saw him sing, I was like, is this all coming out of this? Last night we had dinner together. I mean, he blew the pipe off the place, and he does it every single time. And it comes out of them. Talk a little bit about what music is for you, Joe.
Music is, you know, to me it's a lot easier than golf because of, you know, Jamie said the other day I was playing a song and it was kind of an intricate guitar part, and he was like, what are you thinking about with your fingers? Are you, you know, putting them on this fret? And I'm like, oh, I didn't know my fingers were moving. And he said, you know, imagine if you played golf like that. Imagine if you just said, well, here, I guess the club, you know, the ball's supposed to go over that way, so just kind of get it over there. And with music, I mean, I never think about where my fingers are supposed to be, or, you know, what part of my throat I'm moving properly, or if there's a 47-degree angle of my larynx, you know, to make sure that the side bend works when I hit the microphone. I mean, I'm not thinking of any of that stuff. And the success, you know, on the golf course with Jamie is you can kind of make a very close parallel to that. You know, the times Jamie comes out there and the CEO of Wilshire Country Club, Mr. Kiefer, I'm sorry, is that his name, right?
Yeah, he's the president of the PGA.
Yeah, the president of PGA.
Yeah, that
right.
way. Good.
Just get it.
All right. He was the head of a studio. Would you know him?
Yeah, Jamie.
Good. Clive Davis. Where's Clive?
We're musicians, Jamie, remember?
I got it, yeah,
So-
on your
So
first beer.
I was hitting balls yesterday, you know, down at the bottom of the range there, and just kind of whacking away into nowhere. And Jamie comes down with the gentleman I just spoke of, and Jamie, without missing a beat, says, "Okay, here's the 2 or 3 things I just kind of want you to think about." And there was nothing technical. It was how I was walking into the golf ball, you know, and it was the cadence that I had walking into the golf ball. And Mr. CEO of the PGA was sitting right there, and he's kind of sitting there just taking it in. And I saw him this morning, and he goes, "Was that not amazing? Jamie just kind of walked over and told you these sorts of things." And all of a sudden, it just kind of sunk in. He goes, "I had never seen Jamie kind of coach in person." And he was kind of enamored by that. And then one last story. About a month ago, I get a text from Jamie, and you know, I play 4 tournaments a year now, maybe 5 tournaments, and they're all majors to me. I consider them majors. And he sends me, I wake up to a text at 3 in the morning from Jamie, and he goes, "Hey, bud, I just had a dream. Here's your putter. Here's your new specs. It's a 35 and a quarter putter. It's 72-degree lie angle, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff." He goes, "And the putter, it'll be in your house in a couple days." And I'm like, "Man, I don't even know where that came from." And he goes, "Yeah, I don't really know where it came from either, but you're gonna make putts with it." And I swear to God, I mean, I shot 3 under the first round, that kind of stuff, and it's when
so
you can
stop right there. That's trusting what you do and what you see and what you are, okay? And that, it might have come out of the computer, but I know it didn't come out of the computer with me. I promise you that. I'm barely turning the thing on. Good at dictating it, I got 9 secretaries. Some of them don't even live in this state. So that's you, and you have that in there. How do you fit people? Yeah, Truckman helps. There's no doubt about that. In the old day, lie tape helped. I would argue that, did you fit people for their anatomical lie, or did you fit them for how they were hitting the ball? And which one do you want to start with? As Sean said, I'm maybe more religious than Sean, and I do believe in Jesus, but you got Jesus as a little baby, you can start him playing golf. I probably would measure his anatomy before I mentioned to put lie tape on there. So that's you trusting what you see and what the club's supposed to look like. I always say this, people say all the time, like, can you go a little louder there? Thank you. I'll say this, like, if you are watching a tour player hit, and say they're hitting it over there where Brett is, and you're standing out in front of them, and they're hitting it this way, and you have to turn to look to see where the ball goes, you can't coach a tour player. Pretty simple. Big statement, right? I know that for a fact. Because if you're doing that, and then you have to look to see what happened based on what that is, the ball can help you, but remember, we used to only teach off the ball. But that's like that guy giving me that appendicitis deal. But once you start to stand and watch your players like that, what are you doing? You're watching their motion, and you're watching their feel, and they're watching your sensation, and they're watching their texture, and you're watching them gather, and they're watching them get oily, and you're watching them get loose, and you're watching them get freedom, and they're watching them let the 13-ounce golf club do the work, and the ounce ball get in the way, and you can kind of feel and tell exactly what it's going to do. I gave you 8 or 9 or 10 methods that you can do that with. I don't know. That's not happening in the moment. We see this, They're rocking fire and throwing it the same way that a pitcher is, the same way that a quarterbacker is, and that's what they do. And they practice all the time, maybe a little bit of technique and some drills in order to make them do their stuff, but when they play, they play. And if they learn to do that, they're not going to be a very good tour player. And if you have to run back and look in the box or look this way, you're not using that right-hand side of your brain, and you're not ready to do that at that level because you're just going to hurt people. And you can't do that because it's expensive. And like Sean said, and I said too, you're going to cry a lot more than you're going to laugh. You want to cry a lot, try to rely on the thing in order to teach this feel. Adrian, just one thing, okay? You have been the centerpiece of this iconic band that, I don't want to get ahead of yourself, will probably be in the Hall of Fame one day forever and ever and ever. You played all over the world. You guys have done fantastic, You grew up eating Del Taco. I mean, there's a story about Adrian because he doesn't like to talk a lot, as they were all sitting around in the studio after they had Tragic in the Kingdom, and they had $19 and they'd spent all their money on recording, right? I'm accurate, correct? And somebody, whoever messed up at rehearsal, had to pay for the Del Taco. And so they were saying, well, we just cut this album. How many albums do you think we're going to sell? And the person that said the most in your band said, what?
100,000.
100,000, and somebody said 5,000, and some were kind of all in between. They did 17.3 million copies of Tragic in the Kingdom, and they blew out of the 369 in Fullerton, being a little ska band with a little girl with pigtails, and they opened for U2 all summer, and Adrian finally got a date. So, and then he ended up marrying the manager of the band. Go figure that. Smart guy, my friend. Kind of true story, yeah? All of it?
Kinda.
Yeah. And look at him now. Look how happy he is, okay? You're the leader of that band every night, okay? Give everybody 1 minute, and you can do this, okay? This is 53 seconds more than he's public spoke for me before, okay? So give everybody the 1 minute version of that deal.
Well, I think when you say I'm the leader, what you really mean to say is I'm the one driving the train. Most people look at the band and they go, the singer's the leader, but I'm driving the train. And there's no time playing a drum set to go, let me analyze this, or let me do some computation and logic, or some sequential planning. I'm playing too many notes in too little time.
Sounds like the downswing, huh?
It's all right brain. Unfortunately, for those of us who think too much, there's a lot of time between golf shots.
So we didn't rehearse any of this. The band rehearsed for 1 second, but they've already done this. I knew they were going to do it. We didn't rehearse any of that. But he just said the big thing, there's not any time to think that. And that happens, and that just kind of goes. So did we break people technically? Did we? Are we? Should we? Should doesn't sound good. I mean, should like says we're going to keep breaking them there. How many do people realize that the technique that you give them is their wardrobe, and it hangs in the closet on like a piece, you know? And the nicer that wood is, that doesn't fall out of your closet. You know, when you're all young, you get the apartment and the closet falls down, your clothes fall down. So you end up with, when you make some money, with like a sturdy wood one, so you can put all your clothes up there, and your pink socks, okay? And then that falls down. That's the rhythm. That's the texture. That's the feel. That's the thing that you have to have. In the Faldo Ledbetter experiment, which is probably taking a great player and making him arguably the best in his heyday, in the fall, and I know there's a lot of Ledbetter disciples out here, David brought the technique. When you talk to David, and you can get David to talk a little bit about what Nick brought him, because unfortunately they've warred, which a lot of coaches and students do, and I don't think that's a good idea either. But when you talk to him, Nick brought the pace and the groove and the rhythm. Nick brought Adrian Young every day. And because Nick brought Adrian Young, they can make these complex swings. And you know, you watch Faldo, he was a tilting, scooper, flinger, boom, like that. And he ended up being the greatest rotary player ever. I watched him in '89 at the Masters. He played 2 rounds on the weekend and only had 1 downhill putt. We've been to the Augusta more than we live a charmed life. We've got to see that place a bunch of times. It's hard to do that. It's hard to do that at Rec Park, let alone at Augusta National, hitting it below those things. Pretty unbelievable. So the train driver is the rhythm guy. This guy is a great golfer. I'm going to make this guy a better golfer, I promise you. Again, that sounds presumptuous, but I'm going to make him, and Mike's going to make him a better golfer, because I think he's finally going to listen to us now, because I'm going to send him the right putter. Finally got him. Adrian, I know how to get him, but I got to take him out of the country in order to do it. So, yeah, my pals, Joe Horowitz and Adrian Young. Let's give me a hand. Okay, cool. Let's hit some golf balls, right? That's what we're all here. Hey, you guys in the back, we're going to hit some balls, and I'm going to feel a lot better if you move up here. Would you please appease me? So those of you guys are standing, I know you've been standing all day, but it would be great if you come up and you sat and you got a little bit closer. You make it just easier for everybody, okay? Thank you very much. And as we're doing that, we're going to run this tape, and you can look on the screen. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you accommodating with that. The people on the putting green, you guys are like the people at Coachella that are like, I don't care what they say, man. I'm like not coming up the front. Dude, I don't care. And backstage passes. Run Mally there. So, this is my guy. You know, we've got 11 people we do this with. I met Mally when he was in his late teens. We've had a pretty amazing relationship. He's had a beautiful run on the tour. He's won professional golf tournaments. He's been my brother in this deal, you know? He's kind of got what we were doing from the get-go, and I think I got him from the get-go. We made a bunch of changes in his golf swing, but we made it super, super feel-orientated, getting him in order to feel what his body needed to feel the right way. So this is him hitting a little pitch right here, and he's just ridiculous at that. And then what I want to do with everybody is I want to teach for an hour, you know, till where this thing's over. So I'm going to teach golf if everybody's cool with that. We're going to teach golf together. I want you to throw out questions if you have them. I'm going to act like we're by ourselves, and then we're going to do this. So he's going to just hit some shots, and I'm going to stand over here in the gin area. That's not the gin area that you're thinking about. You're great. Beauty. Tour players also like a little clap after they hit a good one, okay? First one. Yep. Adrian and Joe might have slipped him a beer, so I'm impressed by that, okay? So this is common for us, and you know, some of this will be for humor, but most of this is common for us. Good. You've been hitting it nice, huh? Swing feels good. What? He said, where's his right brain juice? That's the other thing, too. He mumbles everything. I'm the only person in the world that understands him. Where's my right brain juice? It's right over here. Cleanliness. Comes out of the same gun every time, doesn't it? Super quiet, right? Speedy, but quiet, super efficient. So this would be something that we would do, like, will you take that old backswing and kind of, will you stand on the platform up there for a second? And will you make that old backswing that you used to do where your left knee kind of went over that way? And, you know, that was basically what he played from. And, like, he's worked really hard on his body to get in the great shape that he's in. He's super fit, and he's been super fit for a long time. So we didn't make a technical change by quieting his lower body. We made a rhythmical change by making him cleaner in the first move sequence of the swing away from the ball. Because really, when you think about it, when you walk away from it, that has to be super, super clean. So we got that. We started it right at the Long Beach Open when he was a teenager. And we made huge progress like in 1 week. And he made me 2 swings all week long. Old swing, new swing. But that was like a gold thing. I watched him play every hole. If you coach golf on the PGA Tour, or you coach golf at a professional level, or you coach golf at a high level, you have to go to watch golf. It doesn't help on the driving range, I promise you. Bill Belichick is watching the Patriots on Sunday or Monday or Thursday or whenever they play. He's just doing that, okay? So we're watching golf and watching a bunch of it. And we're not saying anything till we're 100% correct, and that's the way we're going about it. So will you do that now, and then we'll kind of go through a series of stuff that we did. So he likes to feel things. I think Mark was so eloquently described all the learning things that we do. Like, go ahead and take your setup for me. Okay. He likes to feel things. So by putting that club on his body like that, away the club goes up, and it just quiets the left side down. Oh, you do need some right brain juice, huh? That felt a little restrictive, huh? You did have a beer, huh? All right, I'm just playing with you. Clean there. Super, super clean. Show me clean. Good, beautiful. Good. Now hit me a little clean holder, okay? Let's imagine that everything downstairs from your waist down to your feet are super quiet. Feel where that golf club is. Good. Hit me a 3/4 little holder like that. He said that was. Good. We warmed up a bunch like that. That is warming up a 6, 7, 8 gear player, like in his second or third gear. So then I just casually take the club off, and we would keep talking. We're going to tell him this one. We've never done this before, but I think it's good. We're going to break code here. This is our favorite one, right? Like, go ahead and take your setup, okay? Okay, I won't. So now he gets to swing that way? I was not going to say that, okay, by the way. And there it is. That's what I'm looking for. That's gathering power. That's sequence. That's things winding up the right way. That's the upper body pivot, winding the lower body up casually like that. I see that rhythmically. I see that texture-wise. I don't see that technically. I see that like something just gets loaded like this up to the top. It reminds me of karaoke when I was playing football, you know, and you had to run like that. That's what it kind of reminds me of when you go the other way. That's what I call karaoke, because you won't let you go the other way. Let me see one with the most beautiful, quiet first move just for the first foot. It looks really, really nice. Totally leaving the golf club alone. Yeah, lovely. That's the best one. Yeah, lovely. You got to emphasize the greats. The bad ones can be discarded. The greats you got to be emphasizing. You got to be able to see them. And when I'm looking at, I'm not looking at the ball, I'm looking at him. So you want to talk about that for a sec? Okay, he doesn't want to talk either. So that's basically it. Question. If you were to walk, if you got a brand new car, have you had a brand new car before? And you walked out and there's a big smudge on your car. It's a brand new car, right? You love it. It's the best car you've ever got. You worked hard to get it. What would you do with the smudge? Clean it, okay? So if you've got a little bit of movement there that doesn't look right to me, it's just that simple word. Remember, our job is to make a hard game simple. It's just cleaning. Doesn't have to go to a place. Doesn't have to be technical. Doesn't have to be read out of a book. Doesn't have to be read out of a machine. It's just clean. First foot. All the first feet look different in people's swings. I know what his look like. So I know when he plays best. We made $5 million with his left leg getting quieter and cleaner, you know? What did you say? Maybe more, he said. That's my guy. Yeah. Questions, other questions? Yeah, fire Bob. Yeah, texture is a good question, okay? If you're going to paint a room, the way that you put the paintbrush in the paint and you painted the wall like that would be what you want the wall to look like. If you pressed harder or lighter or different than that, that would change textures. That's probably the simplest way to explain it. So if somebody ever asked you to paint a room and you push the brush harder thing, the room would look funny. But if you did it with the same texture, and all our players, all my players, all your players when they're playing great, have the same texture, and I'm looking for that. A lot more than I'm looking for scapulas or labrums or any of that other stuff. It's like the look of what it looks like when they look like. I know what he looks like when he's great. Brett and Mally have been playing golf for 20 years. When Brett comes back to me and says, God, Mally was swinging good today, he does say that. Mally. He does say that, seriously. Mally was swinging good today. That's what he's talking about, Bob. Great question. Yeah, we're going to go into an express workout part of it, but just basically he needed to get bigger. He's, small boned. You need to get bigger. He's a really fast athlete. He can run fast. He can catch things fast. He's got, a lot of quickness, and he need to get more core and more substantial. So I don't want to get into the physio word. Where's Nick? I got Luke's physio here, I trust him to work on Nick. It's been a long process for us, like Nick. We've worked really, really hard. Luke's a Ferrari. He's hard to work on. There's a program that they have that's only specific for Luke that wouldn't be tried by anybody else. I think that's the problem there, is that we're trying everything on everybody else. So I think you should only try 100% what you know is going to work. So I just knew that his core needed to get stronger, so he's done a bunch of stuff. From yoga to running on the beach to some weights to different workouts. He's had trainers that didn't work for him, and he has had some that do. Yeah. Let's hit a few drivers.
If you want to change texture, what might you say to him, and what would he be trying to do?
Texture's the overall look for me when things are right.
So what might you say?
When things are off, I clean him at the start because that throws his texture off. He snatches and grabs the golf club. It looks like that, throws his texture off. So I can get him cleaner in here. He gets cleaner in there, get the smudge off his car, right? And the club goes away cleaner, and then his body loads up the right way, and all of a sudden it looks in sequence, and away it goes. Yeah? No. I mean, that's our job. I knew I could relate with him. We have a lot of stuff in common. We have the same humor a lot of times. We have a lot of stuff in common. I knew we could relate together the right way. I know he didn't want to see it or hear it. He needed to feel it. Oh, I did, and we did. Yeah. Like we were at the Long Beach Open, and we did this drill. Like, go ahead and take your setup, and this is not a technical drill. This is a rhythmical drill, where we held him like that and made him swing into his backswing, and he had his legs like collapsing, and it went like that. So once he felt that, he goes, oh yeah, I could do that. And then he used to hit this kind of bleedy shot, and all of a sudden he's in this smashy drivey shot, and he went, well, I want to do that. It's like adding 3 more gears in his car. So there you have it. Good question.
Watching him hit balls, before I heard you
Yeah, he's in a groove, perfectly stated. He's not in a zone, he's in a groove, you know? I'm in a groove. I'm trying to stay there all the time. You know, what did I do this morning at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning? Joe's staying with me. What did I do? Got surf. Just had to get one wave. Waves are great right now, but had to get one wave. That's my deal. That's my release. Where's Whit? Whit, you around here? Whit, you someplace? Whit, one of the presidents of the club. I've been, you know, they review me every year. My last, 8 reviews, the basic review has been, you're doing a good job. Let's keep getting better. Surf more. You know? It's a country club. It's a hard job. Our job isn't easy, you know. We take care of tour players. Their expectation level is through the roof. And we run a country club, and their expectation level is higher than that. So you need a release. That's my release, okay? And he needs his release as well, too. Other question about that? Yeah. Did you already ask one? Did you ask one already? I'm just kidding. Just effing with you, buddy, okay? Barefoot, all right? Not on this thing right there, but I feel taller, and I know Sean felt taller. He left, I pissed him off. Right here. This is standard, like us watching golf. This is us all the time. Out just a little bit, a little playful, you know? So, and he would know that he was out of that one a little bit and had to get a little playful there, so he gets a little bit cleaner, lets it kind of occur more, and that's what we're doing. And you got to see that, all right? And you got to train yourself to see that. We're so worried about the whatever we're going to get paid for our golf lesson that we're not making ourselves better. You make yourself better, and you can only make yourself better with the elite. And we've been, you know, in a fortunate life to get to coach some really good players for a long, long time. But remember, I first did this with no money following the tour, watching players play, knowing that we were going to coach at this level. Oh boy. All right, let's do one more. We are leading the Players Championship, okay, by one shot, all right? And I want you to hit me the cleanest one you can right off that left, whatever they call that thing over there. I think that's a tributary, but we'll just call it a spot that you'll look at. And kind of move it over. Super comfortable here. Get super clean for me, Mally. Perfect on that hole. I mean, that's what we want to see. We want to see that shot. We want to see that shot and had no chance of ever going left. Works down the right-hand side, gets in that right intermediate, and we can play that shot from there. Hit me the same shot on the 14th hole, okay? Got to stand up and hit a golf shot here. Get as comfortable as you can. Let's give a big hand, Mr. John Mallinger, huh? Brad, hop up here, okay? We'll go to the next one. We'll go to, no, we're good. We're till 5:45. We are running a little bit behind, so we're going to run a little bit over. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah. Okay, we're going to run a couple minutes over. Sorry. Brett's going to hit him left-handed. He normally hits him right-handed. Pace and grace. See that right there? Go ahead and stop. That dictates Brett's pace and grace. 2 feet away from the ball, okay? Would you do me a favor, Nick? Are you back there still, Nick?
Yep.
You go get a burger. Nick, just run the gamut of whatever you want to do here, okay? Cool. And just keep her going.
Got it.
As Brett's getting ready, I'm going to think about this, okay? Think clearly. Pace and grace greats, okay? Bobby Jones, Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, George Knutson, Gene Littler, Julius Boros, Jack Nicklaus, Tom Weiskopf, Mickey Wright, Gary Halbert, Nick Faldo, Steve Elkington, Payne Stewart, Ernie Els, Davis Love, Sally Little, Lisa Lott Neumann, Tiger Woods, Adam Scott, Justin Rose, Louis Oosthuizen, Imby Park, Matt Kuchar. Those are pace and gracers that are making a living playing golf. Kuchar might do the best job of anybody on tour of doing his groove, you know, time after time. He's an ATM because his pace and grace is unbelievable. So Brett, I've been coaching Brett since he was 7 or 8. He's worked diligently and hard at this game. I've been his only coach. I remember him on the putting green at Skylinks when he was a little kid. We used to have this thing called progressions, and you'd start 2 feet and every kid would putt it, and if they missed, they were out. And I remember this little shit-talking Brett with Kool-Aid all over his T-shirt hanging down to his knees. We're backing up on the putting green as far as we can go at Skylinks, and he was making them one after another, and the kids have been eliminated for like 4 putts, you know? And he was just talking smack, and he's been doing it ever since, and that's what I love about him. So Brett, I would say, is at the bet. He just, you know, played nicely again through, he's in Q school right now, just played nicely through Q school. We went off of one thing, you know, show me the most beautiful backswing that you can. And we've got it to the point that we knew all this stuff. We worked for a year on getting him to feel like his body went up and jump. We did that as SCOS technically, but we worked on that for a long, long time. And now I think we have it in the box. So show me slow and deliberate away from the ball. And let me see the first foot, and then just allow your body to be athletic, pal. Beautiful. He likes a hand, too. What a beautiful golf swing, huh? Nothing rushed. Super, super, super quiet. I love that word. Super efficient. Super elegant. Keep going, buddy. I'm just going to yap, you rap. This is the quietest he's ever been. I'm going to give you this line right now. He's going to walk over to Mally after this and say, it won't take long for them to clean my balls up. Correct? Yeah. For him, right? Yeah. So that one's out of pace a little bit on the way down. I'm not sure everybody sees that, but that one just looked a little hotter. And if you're watching on TV all the time, they'll look a little bit hotter, you know? And the great one looks like he goes, whew. All right? It's cool how I timed that with the mic, huh? I'll do it one more time. Anyways, and the bad one kind of like that, up and out, leads the club a little bit. That's better. We like, for him, pace and grace. Show me now. Most deliberate one, okay? We got perfect yardage. We got a perfect golf club, okay? I don't care if it's a right pin or a left pin. Show me perfect yardage, perfect club, and go ahead and allow the golf club to do the work, okay? Pace and grace and in it forever. Beautiful golf swing. Beautiful. So pace and grace and in it forever. To Bob's question, what is texture? Texture's like this. In it forever is not going like that and kind of moving out of the way. You're standing there and you're doing your work, you know? So if you can watch him at impact, he's doing his work. It feels like this to him, like he's down there forever like that, and the club feels like it's going super slow, right? Yeah. And it's got quieter every day since we were 8 years old, correct? Yeah. Correct? And that's all we're trying to do, all right? And if you turn on your TV on Sunday afternoon and you're like, whoa, who's this left-handed kid? I've never seen him swing before, and he did, go ahead and do that. I know you're dreaming of that every day and telling me every day that you're going to do that, so you might as well do it. Good. Nice. Mr. Brett Letter, let's give him a hand. Clay, come on up, bud. Clay, I need your wedge and your 8-iron, okay? So this is Mr. Clay Sieber. He's real happy to have him here. He's the 29th ranked player in AGGA. He is 16, 17 years old. He's got a huge, huge, huge future. The best time in what we get to do is the ages of 15 to maybe 20 when you're molding them to play. So let's do this, okay? Let's forget everybody's here. It's just me and you stand on the field back there, okay? And let's hit that little groovy little flight or wedge, okay? And I want to see it like this to start. I want to see it over here off the higher grass, okay? And I want you barely to let that ball get hit out of there, as high and as groovy as you can. Nick, can I get your hand here? Baudel, are you around? He's having a burger too. Or Trev? Cool. Good. I like it. Let's keep putting these in like little on top of there. So now take that and loosen that and make it even more groovy. And hey, bud, I know I'm talking in the speaker here, and it's normally just me and you sitting at the back of the range, and I'm kind of whispering to you. But forget everybody's here, and let's just do this thing, okay? Just as casual as you can. No positions, no technical. Let's just allow that club to swing. Loose and free, just allowing the club to do it. Good, I like that. Do it like that again. Even more freedom. Doesn't have to be slow, doesn't have to be quiet, doesn't have to be what you think is pretty. Just show me some looseness and allow the golf club to do the work. So this is a common thing that you're doing during rhythmical thing. People get slow, deliberate. I want to kind of decide what happens as opposed to just flowing. Hey, Clay, catch this, dude. Is this in the sun in your eyes? Well, if you missed it, okay? Cool, catch this one, okay? All right, cool. Show me that, okay? Just hit one off the ground like that with that feeling. Freedom, looseness, let her go. Yeah, now we're talking. That's what I'm after. Good. Give me another one of those, okay? Groovy or freer, okay? Show me even more freedom, like I'm just tossing you that ball, okay? Like you don't care. Cruise into it. Just me and you out here. Nice. It's not hot anymore. Sorry, I didn't wear shoes to work today. I got it, Nick. Doing everything else. All right. One quick thing about our staff. We didn't have any tents on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Yeah, there you go. Freedom. Great. Good. Good. So now we got that little feeling going with that. So now do that with that. You can lie to me. Are you nervous? Nobody would know that. Okay? So don't tell on yourself, okay? Make it as free as you can. I want to see, like Sean said, I don't give you the bad one. You hit a good one. It doesn't matter. Just groove here. Let her fly. Atta boy. Good. Yeah, that boy. Let that body work, okay? Let's have some fun. This is what you're going to do. You're going to do this on the biggest stage in the world, and nobody will care. Just you doing it. Just you letting it go. Good, I like it. So just because you're freer there doesn't mean that you have to find it, okay? Remember, I don't care for, like, we're in a period right now where I don't care where the ball goes. I'll fix the ball. I know how to fix the ball completely, okay? I want to see the one that looks like nobody's out here. It's just me and you, just letting it go. And you'll have to work on this a lot, too, with people, you know, but it doesn't get worked on enough. That's when the teacher's going back and looking at TrackMan, trying to decide another way to get that golf ball to go. And it's got nothing to do with it. It's just freedom. Freedom in their club, freedom in their body. It isn't something that you can fix by going, oh, yeah, I got it. I know what Clay Siebert's doing, okay? I like it out of the rough like this so he can't go down and get it. If he does it, he immediately feels it. So I like the idea he just has to swing it through. He used the ground too much before. He, you know, had all these technical things that I didn't like, but I know how I'm going to get him to go. I know what he's all about. He understands me. I understand him. We're going to make him better. Yeah, that's a beautiful swing. What was your question? I'm just going for this. I like this. I like the idea. I like the idea when on the rough, if you hit it like that, it's going to grab the club and you feel it. So to swing it out of the rough the right way, you got to let it go. Play golf for a living. You hit a lot of balls out of the rough. The best players don't do anything to hit it out of the rough. Okay. VJ and Freddie, please. Nick. Yeah, beautiful. Let's give him a hand, Mr. Clay Siebert, okay? Very, very nice, okay? All right, how much does the club do the work or the club doesn't do the work? If you left already, shame on you for that because I really want to think about this, okay? That's two of our best of all time, okay? Swing the club left. Do this with the club. Make impact, this and that. How about don't hold on to the thing? All right? What's VJ's right hand doing? That's the year he won 10 tournaments. That's the year that he hit every practice ball in the playoffs. out of the bunker with a rhythm sequence in his head and didn't talk to everybody. Didn't hit a ball off of grass. That's what's going on right there with that right there. Fred, I mean, he's, you know, he lives in Big Canyon now, so we see him a bunch. Our players are down there, you know. He's, you know. Nick, you have Fred at the Augusta?
Yep.
You're doing great, by the way, Nick. Everybody's talking about it out here. You just can't see him. He isn't trying. He's not trying. He's not trying. I promise you I'm not trying right now either. And that's what you're trying to get. That's perfect what she said. You're trying to get to the point where you're not trying. I remember the old actor Ed Harris that's spending a bunch of stuff. Almost broke my toe not trying. I know the actor Ed Harris, you know, they asked him if they did retakes, and he said, yeah, I do a retake till it feels like I don't try when I'm doing it. It's just naturally coming out of me. So when you're watching that swing on the range right there with Fred, that's what it looks like. Cool. So we teach Luke List. How many have seen Luke play? Yes or no? If you haven't seen him play, you got to watch more TV. He is a Ferrari. Some of you were at the section thing that we did a couple years ago with him. Got to watch that driving exhibition, you know. Why everybody knows our theory, I think, on the wheel. We basically take a player, we take all the things that they do and they think about, they put it on a piece of paper, we take all the black marker, we mark off all the things that they don't, they end up with 8 or 10 things, and then we keep the spokes straight. So Luke made a bunch of changes. Luke made, you know, hundreds of changes in what he was doing in his motion, what he was doing in his life, what he was doing in the way he was spiritually grounded, all those things. He changed every single one of them. And I kept seeing with him Ferrari, 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 strong grip, close club face, overswing, body kind of weird. But I kind of pictured him for some reason swinging my golf clubs. 55 years old, play golf once or twice a year with Adrian and Cabo. I have this like ping set of graphite shafts that I kind of swing like this. And the easier I swing, the farther it goes, and the less I try, and I don't practice anymore, and that's that. So Luke's pivot moment, breakthrough moment, when he became the Ferrari was with my clubs, okay? That was key number one. He hit my clubs, and he let them go. Then certain things you do and certain things you don't. I said, Luke, he came out after I got to know him and he knew my sense of humor. I said, Luke, we got to change you from the ground floor up. And he goes, well, this sounds like a different guy that's been helping me. And I go, no, I want to start down there with your shoes, you know? And he said, well, what are you going to do with my shoes? Like, you know, you going to use body track or what are you going to do? And I said, no, your shoes are terrible. You get the worst shoes I've ever seen on a tour player. It's pretty funny, yeah? I mean, the ugly shoes. So he looked down, he started laughing. He goes, my shoes are ugly. And I'm looking at them all the time, and I hate them. I hate the shoes I'm wearing. Okay, cool. So we're going to get you a new pair of shoes. Next day, he walked out like a peacock, swinging my clubs. He's sending my clubs out there. Everybody that had fit Luke Lust for clubs because he had more club head speed, and he had more launch angle, and he had more of the club staying square and impact, tried to give him a bigger, heavier, stiffer golf club in order to control him. And the bigger and the heavier and stiffer, like his clubs, I could not hit. I can hit anything. That sounds presumptuous, but I can hit any golf club. I've hit them all. I could not hit his golf club, couldn't get it off the ground. So then when I got him with my golf club, he's standing out with my golf club, and he had this 5-iron, and I was standing out there 235 yards away, and he was going like this. And that 5-iron was flying over my head. I'm like, he can't do that. I came back, and he goes, I got it. My grips are 132nd under. It's literally an old man's golf club. And away he went, and away he went. I remember Sean, we were down at Vintage, like right after that, like, I think Sean like got to do the first clinic with Luke and I when we did it, and I mean, he looked spectacular, right? Sean, like a new reinvented player. And he's made it simpler and more gathering and easier, and just, you know, now he's to the point where he wants to win golf tournaments really badly, but we're going to try less to win golf tournaments. And working with that much talent, I mean, he is a freak show on what he can do. We hit balls in that area out there, and the easiest, simplest, quietest, best texture that he gets, that ball goes the farthest every single time. And if he can do it time after time, you know, that's the way he plays. And I've seen him hit it out of the worst lies with that same silky look. And I know I was born to teach this guy. And he was born to learn from me. And we've had so much fun watching him do less, try less, get groovier and simpler. So if you get a Ferrari, that's what you're going to do with a Ferrari. Okay? Next one. I'm just going to touch on lightness. We'll do this really simple. Mike, will you stand up for a second, okay? Mike, let's have a tug-of-war, okay? So hold as hard as you can, okay? Harder, harder, harder. That's what it feels when I normally try to take Semi's club out of her hand, okay? This is Mike and I with each other. We've known each other for 40 years now, right, Mike? Okay? This is Mike and I. Go ahead and take my club, Mike, okay? All right, let me take your club, Mike. That's it. Our job is to make the game simple. Once somebody realizes that, that happens. I don't think Fred was holding on that thing very tight on the way through it. What is tight? That's an interesting thing, because everybody's got a different sensation of what their texture is, Bob. Everybody paints that room a different spot. But the golf ball will tell you. You could tell when Clay had the right texture in his motions. So that lightness needs to be done. Remember, the club's 13 ounces. The ball weighs 2 ounces, okay? Next, please. All right? Rhythm, okay? What is rhythm? I'm in rhythm. When I'm out of rhythm, I got to surf. I got to lay down. I got to turn the lights off. I got to sleep for a night. I don't sleep very well. So that's my rhythm. That's my groove. Remember, I got 10 or 11 other people. You know, some of them don't eat well. Some of them don't sleep well. Some of them, you know, they're worried and they're playing golf on the biggest stage for a lot of money. I got to know their rhythm. I got to know their groove, you know? You watch rhythm as a player, you can hit it. I want to talk about these things in rhythm very quickly. If you aren't watching Louis Oosthuizen, every time you get a chance at golf balls, you're doing something wrong, okay? I want to show, go ahead, keep that one, that's fine, okay? This is Gary Halbert, okay? He is the only right-brainer I've ever taught that became a left-brainer, and we've been trying to take him back to a right-brainer forever. Mike and I always kid, like when I've helped him, Mike says, go ahead, I know you had to take a pee for 4 hours, go to the bathroom, I'll make sure the cart boy doesn't give him a golf lesson, you know? This is him at 53 years old, 52 years old, right before he won the Champions Tour. That's a 7-iron, looks like he's hitting a sandwich. That ball was going 170 yards, okay? First time I ever saw him, it was unbelievable. Like I'd never seen anybody swing the golf club like that before. I'd never seen anybody look like that. I go to Louis, the same thing. Go to Freddie, the first thing. Think of Freddie at the Queen Mary Open, like swing the golf club and take his time and away and go and make his motion. So I'm going to tell you an amazing thing about Gary. So Patrick, who we'll get into in a second, is Sheldon, you know. And so Patrick says to me, well, when was like Gary great? And I said, well, Gary was great forever. Gary's the first time 4-time All-American ever, you know? And he goes, that before anybody did it. And he goes, well, what happened? And I go, well, Gary played good. He won 3 times on tour. He should have won 33 or 43. But that's what he did. And he got too technical and blah, blah, blah. He kind of broke it. And he goes, did he ever play good at the majors? And I go, we led all the majors one year. One year he was leading the major and he called us and said, you know, I would fly over to India to look underneath a rock to see where good golf is. Well, you lead in the major, Gare. You know, Mike and I start telling Gary Halbert stories, we will miss tomorrow's section because they can go on forever and ever and ever. So Patrick said, well, when did Gary look the best, you know? Can we have masters, please? How long till you get that? I'm just testing you. I'm just messing with you, okay? So look at this picture right here. Can everybody see that picture? 1985, leading the Masters. Grace and pace, groovy as could be, wide giant turn, length with the golf club, body working like magic, footwork perfect, in sequence with his body. Jack Nicklaus, I was standing next to those bushes, stopped and sat down in his bag and watched him hit balls and asked his kid who that is. That's Gary Halbert. So he got technicalized. That happens to so many people. Going back to that Gary picture right there, every time that Gary's come back into town, we tried to do that, and Gary's played better, but then he goes away and he makes it more technical. Remember, you are the gatekeeper of their groove. You aren't the gatekeeper of the newest thing that you're working on or one of those methods that we put up there. So if once you see that groove, you can recoach that groove, but you got to feel it. You might have to take your shoes off to do it. You might have to, like, soften your grip pressure to do it. You might have to stand out in front of them and do it. You might have to hit balls in a field. So I want to do this. Okay, V, do you have your phone? Where's your phone? So you left your phone out here today? I'm proud of you, girl. That means great thing. So you got a text. You want to read what the text says? Tell him. Tell him. Tell him. Oh, Clay, show me those good hands again. Clay, don't ever give a girl your phone. Nobody gets divorced anymore unless their wife sees their phones. Lauren. You gonna play Lauren Hill or what? Come on, Radar. No? You got V? Oh, here's V. Oh my God. Tell him. Come on. Tell him. Yeah. Tell him. Ooh. You there? Come on. Okay. You can pause it for 1 sec. What did it say? Louder. Groove today more than you've ever grooved before. Okay? So, what do we do too much in life? We try, don't we? We try so hard. Everybody's trying so hard all day long. I live in Newport Coast. I drive down the freeway there. I see two guys on the 73 freeway, and they're going to fight each other. Two BMWs parked on the side. They're going to fight because one of them cut the other one off. It's the world we live in, all right? You guys that were back in the putting green earlier there, you know, I like the fact you were grooving back there. I like the fact that you're up here better, but everybody tries too hard. We coach in our business no trying. When our players don't try, they play their best. So everybody knows the story about Stanford. You know, you take the balls, you hand it to the kid, turn around, throw it in the thing, and they threw 72% in the bucket. Then they told them, hey, I'm going to give you these balls. Every time you throw them in there, we're going to give you $10, and they throw 31% in there. What is that? That's try, okay? So, V, I don't want to try, okay? I'm tired of trying, okay? And you are that Ferrari, okay? I know it in all of my body, through my feet, through my bare feet. Let's groove, okay? Let's groove. So come on up here, okay? MJ, please. Nice and loud. Can we bring her whole bag out here, please, okay? And Nick, would you stay up here with her, please? Watch, please. He knows where he's going. He's my... Freak, huh? What's he doing up there? What's he doing, V? You're not watching him? Come over here, V. Sit down with me. What's he doing? She says he's grooving. Owning it. What else, V? Boom. What's he do? Now he's got it, she says. I think he always had it. I saw him when he was 8.
No, he's got it.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready. You cut her. If you do not go home tonight and Google that and watch that from start to finish, something's the matter with you and I didn't do my job today. You took the greatest musical legend today. We've given you music all day long. That was 2 months before he died. And you watched what he did and watched what he grooved like that. And right now, me and my girl are ready to hit shots, and she's not going to try at all, and we are going to make it groovy, okay? And we're going to coach no trying. So, V, I want to see it as simple and as quiet as you can. Nick, I need you up here so we can just play around and do our stuff, okay? So there you go, okay? As light as you can. Let that club barely go up and fall. Yeah, that a girl. Good. Right off the airplane. Very, very nice, okay? I want that club to fall down there. That golf club weighs 13 ounces. I want you to stay completely out of the way of it. I want you to not try at all. You are MJ, girl. You're better than that. You're light and comfortable. Yeah, there you go. Good. You are freedom, okay? Complete freedom. Yeah, those are lovely. She likes to get applause. V, less grip pressure, less muscles, less legs, less everything. Just let that thing come down, all right? You need to do nothing. Nothing is past what you've ever done before. Yeah, beautiful. There we go, good. Can you see the difference? Can you see the try come out? Can you see it get quieter? Sean, what will we do to that technically? Want to do something technically or just let her go, right? Yeah, right? She can try less, okay? You want to see her try less? Less is more, Sean. Menos es más. No ball, huh? There's no ball down there, right? Okay. Give me these. I want a half swing, three-quarter swing, full swing, in same pace, less try on each one. As the swing gets bigger, the try gets less. Let that body of yours work. That's why you go to the gym every day. That's why you're such a stud. That's why you're so great. Good. Let's do that one again, and I want to see that thing come down by itself even more. You know what I'm after here. V, why was Michael going like this with his hands, you know? What was he doing, you know? Yeah, you're getting it out. So you get it out. It's just me and you. There's nobody here. This isn't showtime for everybody here. This is me and you trying to get better. Yeah, good. Very good. I'd like to see it even come off the ground a little bit quieter. I'd like to see it. I don't care if you miss the thing. Doesn't matter to me. I just want to see you groove. It's just me and you. There's nobody here. Soft as you can in here. Light. No tension. Keep it even. Keep it simple. Let her happen. Yeah, beautiful. That's the one I've been looking for right there. The club fell down and fell by itself. Taking it out. We're not putting it in. Our job's to take it out, not to put it in. Okay? I love watching Justin Rose. He gets cleaner. In a big tournament, he gets cleaner. Rare quality, okay? I've got to think that this is a better athlete than Justin Rose. This is an athlete right here. It's a hell of a lot better to look at than Justin Rose. Take a practice swing for me with no tension in your arms. Let it go up, let it come down. Yeah, there you go, good. Now step over and hit it with that practice swing with that same feel. Good. Nick, tee up 4 balls for her, okay? Questions real quick. We'll take 1 or 2 of them while we're teeing up the ball. Questions? Yeah. 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 You're exactly right. V's got 2 shots. She's got our gig, and she's got the other gig. And we're getting rid of the other gig. We're exercising that thing. We're kicking that thing out, right, V? Yeah, 100%. V, take your forward, okay? All right? Hit these 4 balls. Like sometimes she'll call me when she feels tight before an event. She'll call me in the morning. I'll get on speaker on our headset, and I'll say, V, tee up 4 balls in a row and hit me the 4 balls in a row like you couldn't care, okay? Hit me those 4 like you couldn't care. Let it go up and let it come down like you couldn't care about anything. BDB. Same thing again, like you couldn't care. BDB. How about if you let it go through without deciding what happens to that golf ball? Yeah, it just goes straight when you do that because it's a square club and a round ball and it's supposed to square by itself. There you go, good. That's beautiful. Give her a hand for that. That's beautiful, okay? All right. V, you chill right now? You grooving? On a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 was the most relaxed that you've ever been in the world, say some of the best shots you've ever hit, what is your number right now? Your number's a 4? Okay, cool. So we got 6 more from her. So I know at a 4 she could still win a golf tournament. So that's a pretty good thing. But I want to coach that last 6. Maybe you don't get to a 10, but I know at her if we can get to it. So what's making you be a 4 instead of a 5 or 6? You trying too hard or are you trying too little? Okay, cool. So why don't you try less? Does anybody here care? Let's be honest with each other. Come on, does anybody care? You've all been in this situation, okay? Not easy. Let's try less. Are you a 5? Yeah, that's better. Good. That's a 5. Can you show me a 6? Try less. Yeah. Wow, they're trying less and they're going higher and farther. Just making more speed, okay? So now we're at a 6. Still got 4 more over. That's my job to get out of her. That a girl? I like it. I don't understand why you would be trying. It's me and you. We just watched Michael Jackson. It's a beautiful night out here. I'm barefooted for criminy sakes. Okay? Let it go. Freedom. Show me freedom. This is called soothing. Good. Good. What number are you now? You're a 6? Why not a 9? Seriously. Like, why not a 9? Are you worried about missing in front of all these people? Talked about that today a lot. I'm worried about what I'm going to do. Why are you worried about what you're going to do? What do you do? Pull off a 73 and get in a fist fight with the guy because he cut you off? Okay? Let's get a little white ball. Doesn't even know you're coming. Okay? So step up to that thing and go from 6 to 9. I can see you putting yourself in that headspace right now, aren't you? Come on, you show me the goods right now like you're not doing anything in the world, okay? You make it as quiet and as simple as you can like you couldn't give a shit. It does not matter, okay? That's what I've been after right there. That's one. Let's give me a hand. Miss Veronica Halbert. Anybody want to know what I told her? No, she loves frozen yogurt. I told her I'd never buy her frozen yogurt again, okay? That is a huge part of what we do, getting people in the state of mind to do what they're supposed to do, okay? So we set a culture here on a daily basis that dictates that. We set a culture here that makes people get in a comfortable spot so they can practice the way that they're supposed to. They're supposed to act the way that they're supposed to, you know. Like I said, I got Luke's physio here. Luke's physio probably thought I was crazy at the start, but realizes what I'm doing, right, Nick? All the time. Trying to set the mode, trying to set the feeling to get them that way. We do it with our staff. They relate to the members the right way. They practice that way. They travel that way. Away they go. Next. Tournament weeks, they're on the road more than they're here. That's what they do. Tournament week, I like setting up camp. You make Glen Oaks, Long Island, your home for the week, and you set up camp and you get comfortable. How you rest, how you're fresh, whatever you are going to do, that's what you're going to do at tournament week. So tournament week, if you're making it more than that, that's not it, okay? A tournament week on a Tuesday night, I'm living my life. If Sean wants to go have Indian food, I'll go have Indian food with him on the road. That's what we'll do. It feels like home. You know, I'm always on 3 hours plus time, so I'm working with Alexis or Melanie on the club, and then I'm going to go out and have, you know, some food and get up and do it again, and we're going to meet the players, and we're not making a big deal out of anything. Operative phrase there, we're not making a big deal out of anything. It's just a game. It's just a ball. That's all it is. Next one. Express workout, okay? I am going to do this super quick for you. I love the Tibetan rites. 2,500 years old they've been practiced. The 90-year-old lamas and monks that are running around with dark hair are doing these every day. There's 5 rites that they do. They spin around. Just when you thought it was going to get weird, right? Okay. They spin around. They lay on their butt, and they put their feet up in the air like that, and they lift their head, okay? They lean back on their knees like that, and they tilt their head back like that. They make themselves into a table like that, all right? And then they do a push-up like this in the air that goes into a downward dog, all right? Pretty flexible for a 77-year-old, okay? And they do it, they hold it for a 7-second count. That's it, okay? What happens in that beautiful exercise? They are starting up every cell in their body, and every workout that I see, they're working on certain areas, but everything doesn't get started up. So Sean comes to me and says, my guy can't get started, he can't play the early tee time. You might try the Tibetan rites, right? Get their body going, get the cells going. It's easy to do. I haven't seen anybody that got hurt by that. Actually, our athlete that got hurt, that's how he rehabbed himself out of his injury after we went to 40 doctors all over the world and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to make him better. I love the regulator, okay? The regulator is my breath rate, because I just did that exercise, is up a little bit. I know what my sitting heart rate is. When I walked out there today to speak to you, I knew what my sitting heart rate was. My sitting heart rate is 57. When I walked out here, it was at 55. And I'm going to keep it there. And I knew what it was going to look like here walking out. I didn't know it was going to be 105 degrees, but I practiced that in my head. And when I'm running on the beach in the morning, I run, I let my heart rate go to where it wants, and then I stop until I can get it back below my sitting heart rate. And then I run a little faster, I run a little faster, I run a little faster until I'm running as fast as I can. And then I go the other way, and I come back, and I do it on the sand in my board shorts, and it feels fabulous. And when I'm done, my fingers feel tingly, and I feel light. And I ran my heart rate up, and I ran it down. The biathlon, where they ski forever, then they have to shoot, they can't shoot unless it's down to their sitting heart rate. So we're playing a game where they got to shoot, and their sitting heart rate's going boom, 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 boom. You watch a guy that plays bad come off a golf course, his heart rate's going wham, like Sean talked about when he hugged Justin before he went out to play. That's what's going on. Oh, you guys are my boys, okay? I like triangle squats. I need a golf club or that umbrella. Would you bring me that umbrella? Here, you can toss it. I can catch better than clay. No, not really. I like triangle squats. I make myself into a triangle like that. I squat, I go like that, I move. I do it in a rhythm and groove. I go up and back. I'm separating lower body from upper body so I can feel it, okay? That's all I need to do, okay, in order to do that. I like diaphragm sit-ups. They're not going to hurt you. And I love yoga and I love meditation. That's express workout. I think you can get in trouble every other area. Nick and I know each other pretty well. If I just gave somebody that, that's a pretty good starting recipe, right? I'm not going to mess stuff too much up from there, okay? So here we go. 2 last quick things in this, and then we'll get everybody to have a beer and let Joe play a little music, okay? By the way, you have been a fantastic audience all day long. I know it's been a hot day, so thank you for that. I'd go see Lauryn Hill. I'm not sure if you got the idea, but we like music, and I like music. And I see Lauryn Hill about, 10 years ago, and she's breaking away from the Fugees into a solo career. And she comes out like Adrian and Joe did, and I'm sitting like about right there where you guys are, okay? And she's wearing this groovy little Fila sweatshirt, and she has just a guitar, and she's going to do a solo act, and I love her voice. I love her whole deal. And she's like strumming on her guitar, and it's deathly quiet in there in a really small little venue in LA. And all of a sudden she says to everybody, hey, can you quiet up, you know? And everybody kind of looks around uncomfortably like, can you quiet up? And they go, you know, nobody's talking. Like, it looks kind of weird. And she goes, no, not you guys. You guys are being a fabulous audience. I'm talking to the voices in my head. Sean Foley and Mark Blackburn and Eddie Mearns and, you know, John Cook and Amy Alcott when they were playing, and Tim Brown, the great doctor you're going to see tomorrow, and James Seekman, we coach the voices in their head. That's what we do. That's our job, okay? And our job is to get the right voices in their head so they can prepare the way that they are. I coach Patrick Cantley. I've coached him since he was 7 years old, okay? So we do junior camps, you know? Patrick, like people always say, well, how did you know he was going to be a tour player? Well, we give all the kids a golf ball in junior golf. Some of you have heard this story, some of you haven't. And we said, hey, throw it down that bucket, and 90 kids go, whoosh, and they whip it past the bucket. And Patrick takes the ball, kind of rolls it down like that, and it spins there, and it goes this far from the bucket, and he gets a Snickers bar. What is that? It's Sheldon. It's Sheldon. And he's lived it and breathed it, and he was my third generation player, John Cook and Paul first, and the Mally and the boys second, you know. And then Patrick has third generation, and he's been taught to be a tour player since he was 7 or 8. I caddied for him in the U.S. Open, you know. When he was hungry, you know what he asked for? A Snickers bar, okay? I told him on the last day of the U.S. Open when I was caddying for him, I said, by the way, I'm going to give you a great present today if you play nicely. And he said, well, you give me all kinds of great presents. And I go, yeah, don't tell the USGA that. But anyways, he said, I don't want anything. You've ever given me enough. And I said, no, you're going to want this one. And I'm not going to give it to you. It's something that you're going to earn. So we get on the 18th hole. He's got 220 yards to the hole. It's a 5-iron, maybe a 6-iron because he's heated a little bit, you know. And he says, well, you're going to hit a little low-ripping 4-iron down there, you know. And he said, no, I'm hitting a 4-iron. I said, no, you're not. I said, I got the clubs, and you can't run. Your brother can't run, can he, Nick? He's very slow, right? Correct, okay? So I'm like, you're not hitting this 4-iron. He goes, yeah, I'm hitting the 4-iron. I said, well, Patrick's stubborn. So I'm like, no, you're hitting the 5-iron. So I just gave him the 5-iron and kind of walked over there to the umbrella. He's like, so anyways, he slips into it, you know. Sheldon gets up and goes, whew, and he rifles this 5-iron right at the bunker. It's not going in the water, you know. Takes one bounce and skips into the back of the bunker. It's the 4-iron, it lands in the middle of the lake. So he looks over at me and I wink at him and he goes, where's that at? I go, it's in the back bunker. It's going to be perfect. You just fluff it out of there, roll down the hole like that, you know, tap it in. We'll go have a nice steak and get out of here. So he taps it in. We're walking off the 18th hole and he says, you know, what was the present that you were going to give me? And I go, I can't believe you asked this early. You know, I was going to tell you dinner. And he goes, no, what wasn't? I go, you tied Nicklaus's record. Nobody's shot par or better in the Open since 1960. He goes, cool. Patrick, cool. Everybody was cheering, Patrick, Patrick, Patrick. You know, 10,000 people around the green at Congressional. So what I do, I go, I want you to tip their hat to him. He tips their hat, you know. They all cheered a little louder. He goes, cool, you know. So fast forward to Conway Farms. And Conway Farms, you know, he sat out for 4 years. I mean, basically, he didn't play a golf tournament for 4 years. We had a blueprint for what we wanted his swing to look like. We wanted his swing to put less pressure on his body, and we wanted him to stay in his grace. We had a blueprint for him to work on his short game, a blueprint for him to work on his putting. He stayed as diligently as I can in his blueprint as anybody I've ever seen. He only played 12 events. We played one event a month for 7 months, and then at the end, it kind of got his hand forced because he was playing so good that he had to play in the events. So at Conway Farms, he had, you know, 6 or 7 or 8 foot putt, or maybe it's longer than that. Maybe it's 10 or 12 feet on the last hole. And I was standing next to the CEO at Conway Farms, who was extremely gracious and nice to me. And I never say anything during golf tournaments. Like Sean sees me, I stand out there and I just watch him play. And that's what we do when you're watching golf. Like, you know, everybody else is nervous and saying, oh, I wore a blue shirt today, so he's going to play well. That doesn't work, okay? And the nervous doesn't work, and you can't change it, and you got to watch it practically. So anyways, he got over the putt, and I saw him slip into it. And as eyes went down the target line, they came back. The putter went away, the putter went through, and the ball went in. In the middle of it, I guess I said cash, like when he hung over his routine. So when it was all over, you know, he made it, and then so I was going to go meet him out the scoring tent, and the CEO goes, did you realize that you said cash, like right when he hung over the ball? And he said, like, you knew that was worth a bunch of cash? And I went, I don't remember saying that. I was saying cash like I knew he was going to cash it. And I watched this kid putt since he's this big. He putts beautifully, maybe better than anybody I've ever seen. Lines are perfect. You ask Paul down at Scotty Cameron, he's perfect there. I was saying cash because I knew he was going to make it, which is what we do. That's our job, right? To know when they're going to make it and know when they're not going to make it. So pretty amazing, right? As I said, we're not getting tour players after become tour players. We're teaching these tour players right from the get-go. This kid came right out of the ground here in order to watch him do that. These are the things that he has that are in spades, and I want you to think about that. He has indifference, poise, equanimity. Those 3 words. Huge words, okay? By the way, you're not taking notes. Radar's going to email everybody our notes today so you have them. Since you didn't, that's a reward for not taking notes. Eddie's going to give you his tapes. I'm going to give you my notes, okay? Sean and Mark gave you your stuff. You just keep getting. Travis, Matthew giving you stuff. He's gone 3 different ways. When he was a 10 or 11 or 12-year-old, he was very orthodox and peered it. When he realized he could hit a bomb draw with a stronger grip, solider, and he became the world #1 amateur, he strengthened his grip. And then when he got hurt, we took him back to orthodox. We hit a 30-yard slice, and Sean's out there all the time. He can tell you. We hit a 30-yard slice for the whole year on the practice tee on tour. And this is coming from a kid that hit a 15-yard bomb draw. And then all he did is he took what felt like the slice feel, which was just whatever it did to slice him, which is really a rhythm or feel for us. And then all he tried to do is stay in, and the ball went perfectly straight, and he peered it all the way through the year. He shot 60 the week after I caddied for him in the Open as an 18 or 19-year-old. His deal is quality, not quantity. Ending with Patrick. Patrick walks towards the scoring tent at Conway, and he knew that he was on the bubble of making the Tour Championship. All the majors, all the World Golf Championships, changed his word. He goes like this to me, and I go, and he goes, cool. Then he walked in the scores tent, he came out, and he goes, should I do an interview? And I go, well, let's make sure it's for sure. And he goes, cool. And then he went in the clubhouse, and we stood there for a minute, and then somebody from the network, one of my buddies, Peter, texted me and said, hey, so-and-so made bogey, and Patrick's going to be in the Tour Championship. So I told Patrick, and he went, cool. You're trying to be in this game. You're trying to be cool, right? Let's end with this, okay? Can you see me, everybody? Can you see me? What are you looking at me with? It's a gameplay with your eyes, everybody. That's the one thing I know for sure. And if you didn't have them, you could still play. But you'd have to have somebody watch where your ball went most of the time unless you got really good. Greg McHadden taught you might be able to learn to play blind and hit it perfectly straight. Most of us don't get that chance, okay? So you have to see where the ball goes, and you got to feel where the ball goes. And when he was throwing that down there, or I'm throwing that down there towards that bucket, I'm doing it with my eyes and letting it come out of my body naturally. That's what I do, okay? So I want you to show you this right here. Stop right there, Nick. You're doing great. This is the 11-time world champion, Nick, right? He won his first world champion surfing when he was 19 and won when he was 39. Am I right, Nick? Correct. Yeah. This is the 16th hole at Cypress Point. The day before Patrick played in his first tournament after sitting out for 4 years, we thought it would be best for Patrick to play the best golf course on the planet, maybe, with the best surfer ever on the planet. So go ahead and watch this. Is this game played with your eyes? Remember, this guy doesn't do this for a living. Watch his eyes. Right in the middle of the green. Kelly Slater, driver into like a 30-mile-an-hour wind, okay? Nick, what else you got of him? You got something else from him real quick?
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to run the way thing. This one takes longer than my ways. He's not surfing there. He's looking where he's going to go, and that guy's in his way, by the way. Look at a wave next time that you see it and imagine that. How's he doing that? No, he's not my idol. I don't have an idol. That's good. That's good. Next one. What is enlightenment? Take the best experience and feel that you ever had and make it your baseline. You do that, I promise you'll be successful. You make golf simple and make the best feeling that you've ever had and make it your baseline. You got an opportunity to grow this beautiful game that we play and be fantastic at your sport, at our sport. Be a great member of your community. Be admired by everybody that you thought ever mattered, but most importantly, you're going to go to work every day feeling the way that you should. It's a hard game. Like I said, Sean put it perfectly. It makes you cry. It guts you. Okay? But it's a beautiful game. Enlightenment, the baseline, is the best experience that I ever had. I'm going to end with this, okay? Watch this, okay? Tiger Woods, most talked about guy in the world. Run it again, my friend. Run it again. Rare footage. You can pause it. Pretty unbelievable, right? My phone, I would argue, has more gold in their phone with swing videos than anybody I know. There's nothing in there as good as that. There's nothing I ever seen as good as that. Groove, rhythm, pace, grace, texture, out of the way, letting it happen. Only Michael Jackson looked better than that. Tiger and then V. Only them today look better than that. Should we have fixed that, or should we have kept it the same? You decide. Thanks for letting me pour my heart out.